Welcome back to another video. So this will be the case study. We have over here the A1 Mini printer from Bambu Lab. And I want to see if Rodin will be able to subdivide this and segment within multiple meshes properly. We're going to see the overall components. So we're going to have the frame, the tool head, the build plate, the elements for the axis. So we're going to have various belts, pulleys, screws, and so on. Now, I already added the image. As you can see, it's currently being generated. And we're going to go ahead and I will subdivide this into multiple meshes multiple time. So we have the model over here. So as we can see, this is the initial generation of this. We're going to see that overall the components are, let's say, quite goodly defined. We're going to see over here that this cable will not actually be connected to the printer. Now I'm going to go ahead and I will change this. I will keep it to triangles and I will separate this into parts. So I'm going to click on Bank to Parts. We're going to see over here a preview, and now Rodin will start separate this into various components as it will consider to be appropriated. So I'm expecting over here, for example, the plate, the extruder to be separated. Other than that, it will be a little bit tricky. For finer components such as pulleys and other elements, they will not be that well defined. I don't even want to go into details regarding various sensors or the position for the cooling fans, because those again will not be into detail since Rodin is not that intended onto CAD design, let's say. So we're going to see over here the components. So I think this will be the extruder. Now let's go ahead and generate this. As you can see, Rodin will separate this quite fast. So overall, we see over here the progression bar. Now, regarding fine details, we're going to see that this screw over here is not that well defined. That will enable the Z-axis movement of the printer. And at the end, we're also going to generate the texture in this case. Regarding the overall proportions of some of the components, we're going to see that they will look like this. So over here, if I will zoom in, we're going to see that some of the screws have been modeled over here. Over here on top of the extruder where we have that filament attachment. This axis is also, it has a profile over here on the bottom, but it's not that fully defined. Also, the overall motion of range for the axis is not that detailed. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I will separate the extruder over here as well. So this is the tool head where we have the interchangeable nozzles. Again, I'm not expecting this to go into details and separate all of those really good, since again, this is not intended for computer-aided design. It's mostly based for meshes and visualization. So I'm not expecting this to be able to output individual elements, such as in this case, let's say the heating element, the cooling fans over here, and the overall housing of that extruder. Over here as well for the filament, I'm not expecting it to go into detail and have all of those gears that will make the filament, will pull the filament, let's say. But I just want to make a case study and see exactly how Rodin will address this. I'm going to go over here for the bottom section where we have the frame. As you can see over here, we're going to have that LCD display, and that most likely will not be separated in this case. So the extruder should now be processed, and as you can see, it has been finished. And we have some elements separated. So we have this for the filament and that one as well. Now I'm going to do one additional separation for this one. let's say, the overall frame and the structural body of the printer. But as you can see in this case, since it's all within that bottom housing of the printer, I'm pretty sure that the AI tool will not manage to separate those accordingly. In this case, let's say that the display for this should be separated. Maybe that top profile over here, where we're gonna have that that plate, the build plate and the heat bed will be separated. This is why considering that within the following years, we're gonna see various AI tools similar as Rodin that will make the leap forward into generating CAD models. And I'm gonna make a case study regarding a gear reducer, and we're gonna see how important it is to also have models with good CAD parameters that will also enable that to function. Because currently, this kind of AI tools such as Trip or Rodin are mostly intended for visualization, let's say for games and other VR XR application, not exactly production. And when I say production, I'm focusing on industrial applications, not on productions like video graphics and so on. They are mostly intended for game developments and other elements. Now we see this is at 50% and we have those elements ready, and yeah, we're gonna have this separated, this one as well, so we're gonna have that the display over here, and if I will assemble, we're gonna see that this will be the output. Okay, so overall it's quite impressive that it managed to output this, but again, this will be really difficult to add, for example, within Blender. And if you want to make all the movement on the X and Y and Z axis of this 3D printer, it's kind of impossible, since we can have this, let's say, to be translated on those axes, but it's not actually going to slide. If you want to make this within a CAD solution, you want to simulate everything with sliders. For example, within CATIA, that will not be a solution. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this kind of content. I'm going to position a similar video over here on the left side, and I will also add a subscribe button to the right. So that's it. Thanks for watching.